We're inside the accessible.org company page on LinkedIn. I've selected create. We have several options, including start a post and publish an article. I'm going to publish an article. Here we are met with an article template. I am going to take this first prompt and upload an image from my computer. So I'm adding this image now, and then here we can see the image is present. I'm going to select the edit icon. We are met with options to crop, filter, and adjust. We can also slide and we can go far to the right and below these options, but it's all empty space. So there's no option to add alternative text or mark this image as decorative. So I'm going to go ahead and add this image inside of the article. And then below the image, we can see that we can add credit and caption. But this isn't alternative text. It's the next best option if we're adding a cover image, but we should be able to mark this as decorative or add alternative text. And I'm going to hover over the cover image one more time. I'm going to select the edit icon. And again, we're back to the same place. We just don't have this option. So next, I'm going to go inside of the article. And then for the title, I'm going to write heading 1. Below that, I will write paragraph. And then below that, I will write heading 2. Now, I'm going to go inside of the article composer toolbar with heading 2 selected. I'm going to select from the style drop-down menu. And here we have the options of normal, heading, and subheading, but it isn't clear whether the heading is an H1 or an H2 and whether the subheading is an H2 or an H3. And this could be intuitive, but knowing that, wanting to make sure that we have the proper nesting, also knowing that with medium articles for the longest time, if this isn't still true, with medium articles, you could add an H1 inside of the article body. So it's just not certain. So here I'm going to select heading 2. Visually, we can see that it is a fraction smaller. So it does appear that this is an H2, but we just don't know that for certain. So I think here for LinkedIn, I would just add an H2 next to heading, or just make it an H2 altogether. And then for subheading, mark this as H3. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add an image inside of the article body. So again, we are met with the prompt to upload from our computer. Now we can see there's the edit icon, but we also have an alternative text icon. So we can go in here and we can add alternative text, but what's missing is the ability to mark this image as decorative. So if the image isn't really relaying any meaning or adding anything to the article, then we just want to mark this as decorative, but we don't have that option here. And we don't know what happens if we leave this alternative text box empty. So I'm going to go ahead and go back and just press next. And so now we've got this image added inside of the article, but we have to, you're really forced at this point to go ahead and add that alternative text, because when you're composing, you just don't know what the result is going to be when you publish the article until you publish the article. So here we would just add alternative text. I'm going to click out of this, and now we're going to go to the actual article that's published. And one thing I wanted to note here is that for the spreadsheet, so if I go to spreadsheet and I click on this, and I'm going to go to inspect, and if we go to inspect, we can actually see that the spreadsheet is actually an H2. Let's see if we can pull this up. So here we have H2, and the spreadsheet is actually an H2. So heading, when you're composing, the style heading is actually an H2. So this is something that I encountered. It is something where you have to check on this to make sure it's actually the case, but it's present. So if you're wondering, can you add alternative text to your cover image? You can't. You can add alternative text to other images, but in either case, you cannot mark the image as decorative.